Hello everyone. Question is a company collects data for temperature, humidity and atmospheric pressure in cities across multiple continents. The average volume of data that the company collects from each site daily is 500 GB. Each site has a high-speed internet connection. The company wants to aggregate the data from all these global sites as quickly as possible in a single Amazon S3 bucket. The solution must minimize operational complexity. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A, turn on S3 transfer acceleration on the destination S3 bucket. Use multi-part uploads to directly upload site data to the destination S3 bucket. Option B, upload the data from each site to an S3 bucket in the closest region. Use S3 cross-region replication to copy objects to the destination S3 bucket. Then remove the data from the origin S3 bucket. Option C, schedule AWS Snowball Edge storage optimized device jobs daily to transfer data from each site to the closest region. Use S3 cross-region replication to copy objects to the destination S3 bucket. Option D, upload the data from each site to an Amazon EC2 instance in the closest region. Store the data in an Amazon Elastic Book Store Amazon EBS volume. At regular intervals, take an EBS snapshot and copy it to the region that contains the destination S3 bucket. Restore the EBS volume in that region. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company needs the ability to analyze the log files of its proprietary application. The logs are stored in JSON format in an Amazon S3 bucket. Queries will be simple and will run on demand. A solutions architect needs to perform the analysis with minimal changes to the existing architecture. What should the solutions architect do to meet these requirements with least amount of operational overhead? Option A, use Amazon Redshift to load all the content into one place and run the SQL queries as needed. Option B, use Amazon CloudWatch logs to store the logs. Run SQL queries as needed from the Amazon CloudWatch console. Option C, use Amazon Athena directly with Amazon S3 to run the queries as needed. Option D, use AWS Glue to catalog the logs. Use a transient Apache Spark cluster on Amazon EMR to run the SQL queries as needed. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company uses AWS organizations to manage multiple AWS accounts for different departments. The management account has an Amazon S3 bucket that contains project reports. The company wants to limit access to this S3 bucket to only users of accounts within the organization in AWS organizations. Which solution meets these requirements with the least amount of operational overhead? Option A, add the AWS principal org ID global condition key with a reference to the organization ID to the S3 bucket policy. Option B, create an organizational unit OU for each department. Add the AWS principal org paths global condition key to the S3 bucket policy. Option C, use AWS CloudTrail to monitor the create account, invite account to organization, leave organization, and remove account from organization events. Update the S3 bucket policy accordingly. Option D. Tag each user that needs access to the S3 bucket. Add the AWS principal tag global condition key to the S3 bucket policy. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, the application runs on an Amazon EC2 instance in a VPC. The application processes logs that are stored in an Amazon S3 bucket. The EC2 instance needs to access the S3 bucket without connectivity to the internet. Which solution will provide private network connectivity to Amazon S3? Option A. Create a gateway VPC endpoint to the S3 bucket. Option B. Stream the logs to Amazon CloudWatch logs. Export the logs to the S3 bucket. Option C. Create an instance profile on Amazon EC2 to allow S3 access. Option D. Create an Amazon API Gateway API with a private link to access the S3 endpoint. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company is hosting a web application on AWS using a single Amazon EC2 instance that stores user uploaded documents in Amazon EBS volume. For better scalability and availability, the company duplicated the architecture and created a second EC2 instance and EBS volume in another availability zone, placing both behind an application load balancer. After completing this change, users reported that each time they refreshed the website, they could see one subset of their documents or the other, but never all of the documents at the same time. What should a solution architect propose to ensure users see all of their documents at once? Option A. Copy the data so both EBS volumes contain all the documents. Option B. Configure the application load balancer to direct a user to the server with the documents. Option C. Copy the data from both EBS volumes to Amazon EFS. Modify the application to save new documents to Amazon EFS. Option D. Configure the application load balancer to send the request to both servers. Return each document from the correct server. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company uses NFS to store large video files in on-premises network attached storage. Each video file ranges in size from 1 MB to 500 GB. The total storage is 70 TB and is no longer growing. The company decides to migrate the video files to Amazon S3. The company must migrate the video files as soon as possible while using the least possible network bandwidth. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Create an S3 bucket. Create an IAM role that has permissions to write to the S3 bucket. Use the AWS CLI to copy all files locally to the S3 bucket. Option B. Create an AWS Snowball Edge job. Receive a Snowball Edge device on premises. Use the Snowball Edge client to transfer data to the device. Return the device so that AWS can import the data into Amazon S3. Option C. Deploy an S3 file gateway on premises. Create a public service endpoint to connect to the S3 file gateway. Create an S3 bucket. Create a new NFS file share on the S3 file gateway. Point the new file share to the S3 bucket. Transfer the data from the existing NFS file share to the S3 file gateway. Option D. Set up an AWS Direct Connect connection between the on-premises network and AWS. Deploy an S3 file gateway on premises. Create a public virtual interface VIF to connect to the S3 file gateway. Create an S3 bucket. Create a new NFS file share on the S3 file gateway. Point the new file share to the S3 bucket. Transfer the data from the existing NFS file share to the S3 file gateway. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company has an application that ingests incoming messages. Dozens of other applications and microservices then quickly consume these messages. The number of messages varies drastically and sometimes increases suddenly to 1 lakh each second. The company wants to decouple the solution and increase scalability. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A. Persist the messages to Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics. Configure the consumer applications to read and process the messages. Option B. Deploy the ingestion application on Amazon EC2 instances in an auto-scaling group to scale the number of EC2 instances based on CPU metrics. Option C. Write the messages to Amazon Kinesis data streams with a single shard. Use an AWS Lambda function to pre-process messages and store them in Amazon DynamoDB. Configure the consumer applications to read from DynamoDB to process the messages. Option D. Publish the messages to an Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS topic with multiple Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SOS subscriptions. Configure the consumer applications to process the message from the queues. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is migrating a distributed application to AWS. The application serves variable workloads. The legacy platform consists of a primary server that coordinates jobs across multiple compute nodes. The company wants to modernize the applications with a solution that maximizes resiliency and scalability. How should a solution architect design the architecture to meet these requirements? Option A. Configure an Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SQS queue as a destination for the jobs. Implement the compute nodes with Amazon EC2 instances that are managed in an auto-scaling group. Configure EC2 auto-scaling to use scheduled scaling. Option B. Configure an Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SQS queue as a destination for the jobs. Implement the compute nodes with Amazon EC2 instances that are managed in an auto-scaling group. Configure EC2 auto-scaling based on the size of the queue. Option C. Implement the primary server and the compute nodes with Amazon EC2 instances that are managed in an auto-scaling group. Configure AWS CloudTrail as a destination for the jobs. Configure EC2 auto-scaling based on the load on the primary server. Option D. Implement the primary server and the compute nodes with Amazon EC2 instances that are managed in an auto-scaling group. Configure Amazon Event Bridge Amazon CloudWatch events as a destination for the jobs. Configure EC2 auto-scaling based on the load on the compute nodes. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company is running an SMB file server in its data center. The file server stores large files that are accessed frequently for the first few days after the files are created. After 7 days, the files are rarely accessed. The total data size is increasing and is close to the company's total storage capacity. A solutions architect must increase the company's available storage space without losing low latency access to the most recently accessed files. The solution architect must also provide file lifecycle management to avoid future storage issues. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Use AWS Data Sync to copy data that is older than 7 days from the SMB file server to AWS. Option B. Create an Amazon S3 file gateway to extend the company's storage space. Create an S3 lifecycle policy to transition the data to S3 Glacier Deep Archive after 7 days. Option C. Create an Amazon FSx for Windows File Server file system to extend the company's storage space. Option D. Install a utility on each user's computer to access Amazon S3. Create an S3 lifecycle policy to transition the data to S3 Glacier flexible retrieval after 7 days. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company is building an e-commerce web application on AWS. The application sends information about new orders to an Amazon API gateway REST API to process. The company wants to ensure that orders are processed in the order that they are received. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Use an API gateway integration to publish a message to an Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS topic when the application receives an order. Subscribe an AWS Lambda function to the topic to perform processing. Option B. Use an API gateway integration to send a message to an Amazon Simple Queue service Amazon SQS FIFO queue when the application receives an order. Configure the SQS FIFO queue to invoke an AWS Lambda function for processing. Option C. Use an API gateway authorizer to block any request while the application processes in order. Option D. Use an API gateway integration to send a message to an Amazon Simple Queue service Amazon SQS standard queue when the application receives an order. Configure the SQS standard queue to invoke an AWS Lambda function for processing. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company has an application that runs on Amazon EC2 instances and uses an Amazon Aurora database. The EC2 instances connect to the database by using usernames and passwords that are stored locally in a file. The company wants to minimize the operational overhead of credential management. What should a solution architect do to accomplish this goal? Option A, use AWS Secrets Manager, turn on automatic rotation. Option B, use AWS Systems Manager Parameter Store, turn an automatic rotation. Option C, create an Amazon S3 bucket to store objects that are encrypted with an AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS encryption key. Migrate the credential file to the S3 bucket. Point the application to the S3 bucket. Option D, create an encrypted Amazon Elastic Block Store Amazon EBS volume for each EC2 instance. Attach the new EBS volume to each EC2 instance. Migrate the credential file to the new EBS volume. Point the application to the new EBS volume. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a global company hosts its web application on Amazon EC2 instances behind an application load balancer ALB. The web application has static data and dynamic data. The company stores its static data in an Amazon S3 bucket. The company wants to improve performance and reduce latency for the static data and dynamic data. The company is using its own domain name registered with Amazon Route 53. What should a solutions architect do to meet these requirements? Option A, create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that has the S3 bucket and the ALB as origins. Configure Route 53 to route traffic to the CloudFront distribution. Option B, create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that has the ALB as an origin. Create an AWS Global Accelerator Standard Accelerator that has the S3 bucket as an endpoint. Configure Route 53 to route traffic to the CloudFront distribution. Option C, create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that has the S3 bucket as an origin. Create an AWS Global Accelerator Standard Accelerator that has the ALB and the CloudFront distributions as endpoints. Create a custom domain name that points to the accelerator DNS name. Use the custom domain name as an endpoint for the web application. Option D, create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that has the ALB as an origin. Create an AWS Global Accelerator Standard Accelerator that has the S3 bucket as an endpoint. Create two domain names. Point one domain name to the CloudFront DNS name for dynamic content. Point the other domain name to the accelerator DNS name for static content. Use the domain names as endpoints for the web application. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company performs monthly maintenance on its AWS infrastructure. During these maintenance activities, the company needs to rotate the credentials for its Amazon RDS for MySQL databases across multiple AWS regions. Which solution will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Option A. Store the credentials as secrets in AWS Secrets Manager. Use multi-region secret replication for the required regions. Configure Secrets Manager to rotate the secrets on a schedule. Option B. Store the credentials as secrets in AWS Systems Manager by creating a secure string parameter. Use multi-region secret replication for the required regions. Configure system managers to rotate the secrets on a schedule. Option C. Store the credentials in an Amazon S3 bucket that has server-side encryption (SSE) enabled. Use Amazon Event Bridge Amazon CloudWatch events to invoke an AWS Lambda function to rotate the credentials. Option D. Encrypt the credentials as secrets by using AWS Key Management Service (AWS KMS) multi-region customer managed keys. Store the secrets in Amazon DynamoDB global table. Use an AWS Lambda function to retrieve the secrets from DynamoDB. Use the RDS API to rotate the secrets. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company runs an e-commerce application on Amazon EC2 instances behind an application load balancer. The instances run in an Amazon EC2 auto-scaling group across multiple availability zones. The auto-scaling groups scales based on CPU utilization metrics. The e-commerce application stores the transaction data in a MySQL 8.0 database that is hosted on a large EC2 instance. The database's performance degrades quickly as application load increases. The application handles more read requests than write transactions. The company wants a solution that will automatically scale the database to meet the demand of unpredictable read workloads while maintaining high availability. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Use Amazon Redshift with a single node for leader and compute functionality. Option B. Use Amazon RDS with a single AZ deployment configuration Amazon RDS to add reader instances in a different availability zone. Option C. Use Amazon Aurora with a multi-AZ deployment. Configure Aurora auto-scaling and Aurora replicas. Option D. Use Amazon Elasticsearch for memcached with EC2 spot instances. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company recently migrated to AWS and wants to implement a solution to protect the traffic that flows in and out of the production VPC. The company had an inspection server in its on-premises data center. The inspection server performed specific operations such as traffic flow inspection and traffic filtering. The company wants to have the same functionalities in the AWS cloud. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Use Amazon Guard Duty for traffic inspection and traffic filtering in the production VPC. Option B. Use traffic mirroring to mirror traffic from the production VPC for traffic inspection and filtering. Option C. Use AWS Network Firewall to create the required rules for traffic inspection and traffic filtering for the production VPC. Option D. Use AWS Firewall Manager to create the required rules for the traffic inspection and traffic filtering for the production VPC. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company wants to improve its ability to clone large amounts of production data into a test environment in the same AWS region. The data is stored in Amazon EC2 instances on Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS volumes. Modifications to the cloned data must not affect the production environment. The software that accesses this data requires consistently high I/O performance. A solutions architect needs to minimize the time that is required to clone the production data into the test environment. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Take EBS snapshots of the production EBS volumes. Restore the snapshots onto EC2 instance store volumes in the test environment. Option B. Configure the production EBS volumes to use the EBS multi-attach feature. Take EBS snapshots of the production EBS volumes. Attach the production EBS volumes to the EC2 instances in the test environment. Option C. Take EBS snapshots of the production EBS volumes. Create and initialize new EBS volumes. Attach the new EBS volumes to EC2 instances in the test environment before restoring the volumes from the production EBS snapshots. Option D. Take EBS snapshots of the production EBS volumes. Turn on the EBS Fast Snapshot Restore feature on the EBS snapshots. Restore the snapshots into the new EBS volumes. Attach the new EBS volumes to EC2 instances in the test environment. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company provides a voice over internet protocol VoIP service that uses UDP connections. The service consists of Amazon EC2 instances that run in an auto-scaling group. The company has deployments across multiple AWS regions. The company needs to route users to the region with the lowest latency. The company also needs automated failover between regions. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Deploy a network load balancer NLB and an associated target group. Associate the target group with the auto-scaling group. Use the NLB as an AWS Global Accelerator endpoint in each region. Option B. Deploy an application load balancer ALB and an associated target group. Associate the target group with the auto-scaling group. Use the ALB as an AWS Global Accelerator endpoint in each region. Option C. Deploy a network load balancer NLB and an associated target group. Associate the target group with the auto-scaling group. Create an Amazon Route 53 latency record that points to aliases for each NLB. Create an Amazon CloudFront distribution that uses the latency records as an origin. Option D. Deploy an application load balancer ALB and an associated target group. Associate the target group with the auto-scaling group. Create an Amazon Route 53 weighted record that points to aliases for each ALB. Deploy an Amazon CloudFront distribution that uses the weighted record as an origin. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company has an application that provides marketing services to stores. The services are based on previous purchases by store customers. The stores upload transaction data to the company through SFTP, and the data is processed and analyzed to generate new marketing offers. Some of the files can exceed 200 GB in size. Recently, the company discovered that some of the stores have uploaded files that contain personally identifiable information (PII) that should not have been included. The company wants administrators to be alerted if PII is shared again. The company also wants to automate remediation. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements with the least development effort? Option A, use an Amazon S3 bucket as a secure transfer point. Use Amazon Inspector to scan the object in the bucket. If objects contain PII, trigger an S3 lifecycle policy to remove the objects that contain PII. Option B, use an Amazon S3 as a secure transfer point. Use Amazon Massey to scan the objects in the bucket. If objects contain PII, use Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS to trigger a notification to the administrators to remove the objects that contain PII. Option C, implement custom scanning algorithms in an AWS Lambda function. Trigger the function when objects are landed into the bucket. If objects contain PII, use Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS to trigger a notification to the administrator to remove the objects that contain PII. Option D, implement custom scanning algorithms in an AWS Lambda function. Trigger the function when objects are loaded into the bucket. If objects contain PII, use Amazon Simple Email Service Amazon SES to trigger a notification to the administrators and trigger an S3 lifecycle policy to remove that means that contain PII. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a hospital recently deployed a RESTful API with Amazon API Gateway and AWS Lambda. The hospital uses API Gateway and Lambda to upload reports that are in PDF format and JPEG format. The hospital needs to modify the Lambda code to identify protected health information (PHI) in the reports. Which solution will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Option A, use existing Python libraries to extract the text from the reports and to identify the PHI from the extracted text. Option B, use Amazon Textract to extract the text from the reports. Use Amazon SageMaker to identify the PHI from the extracted text. Option C, use Amazon Textract to extract the text from the reports. Use Amazon Comprehend Medical to identify the PHI from the extracted text. Option D. Use Amazon recognition to extract the text from the reports. Use Amazon Comprehend Medical to identify the PHI from the extracted text. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company wants to move a multi-tiered application from on-premises to the AWS cloud to improve the application's performance. The application consists of application tiers that communicate with each other by way of RESTful services. Transactions are dropped when one tier becomes overloaded. A solutions architect must design a solution that resolves these issues and modernize the application. Which solution meets these requirements and is the most operationally efficient? Option A. Use Amazon API Gateway and direct transactions to the AWS Lambda functions as the application layer. Use Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SQS as the communication layer between application services. Option B. Use Amazon CloudWatch metrics to analyze the application performance history to determine the server's peak utilization during the performance failures. Increase the size of the application server's Amazon EC2 instances to meet the peak requirements. Option C. Use Amazon Simple Notification Service Amazon SNS to handle the messaging between application servers running on Amazon EC2 in an auto-scaling group. Use Amazon CloudWatch to monitor the SNS queue length and scale up and down as required. Option D. Use Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SQS to handle the messaging between application servers running on Amazon EC2 in an auto-scaling group. Use Amazon CloudWatch to monitor the SQS queue length and scale up when communication failures are detected. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a solution architect is designing the cloud architecture for a new application being deployed on AWS. The process should run in parallel while adding and removing applications nodes as needed based on the number of jobs to be processed. The processor application is stateless. The solution architect must ensure that the application is loosely coupled and the job items are durably stored. Which design should the solutions architect use? Option A. Create an Amazon SNS topic to send the jobs that need to be processed. Create an Amazon machine image AMI that consists of the processor application. Create a launch configuration that uses the AMI. Create an auto-scaling group using the launch configuration. Set the scaling policy for the auto-scaling group to add and remove nodes based on CPU uses. Option B. Create an Amazon SQS queue to hold the jobs that need to be processed. Create an Amazon machine image AMI that consists of the processor application. Create a launch configuration that uses the AMI. Create an auto-scaling group using the launch configuration. Set the scaling policy for the auto-scaling group to add and remove nodes based on network uses. Option C. Create an Amazon SQS queue to hold the jobs that need to be processed. Create an Amazon machine image AMI that consists of the processor application. Create a launch template that uses the AMI. Create an auto-scaling group using the launch template. Set the scaling policy for the auto-scaling group to add and remove nodes based on the number of items in the SQS queue. Option D. Create an Amazon SNS topic to send the jobs that need to be processed. Create an Amazon machine image AMI that consists of the processor application. Create a launch template that uses the AMI. Create an auto-scaling group using the launch template. Set the scaling policy for the auto-scaling group to add and remove nodes based on the number of messages published to the SNS topic. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company uses a popular content management system CMS for its corporate website. However, the required patching and maintenance are burdensome. The company is redesigning its website and wants a new solution. The website will be updated 4 times a year and does not need to have any dynamic content available. The solution must provide high scalability and enhanced security. Which combination of changes will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Choose two options. Option A. Configure Amazon CloudFront in front of the website to use HTTPS functionality. Option B. Deploy an AWS WAF Wave ACL in front of the website to provide HTTPS functionality. Option C. Create and deploy an AWS Lambda function to manage and serve the website content. Option D. Create the new website and an Amazon S3 bucket. Deploy the website on the S3 bucket with static website hosting enabled. Option E. Create a new website. Deploy the website by using an auto-scaling group of Amazon EC2 instances behind an application load balancer. Correct answer is option A and option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a global company runs a web-based portal that provides users with global breaking news, local alerts, and weather updates. The portal delivers each user a personalized view by using mixture of static and dynamic content. Content is served over HTTPS through an API server running on an Amazon EC2 instance behind an application load balancer ALB. The company wants the portal to provide this content to its users across the world as quickly as possible. How should a solution architect design the application to ensure the least amount of latency for all users? Option A. Deploy the application stack in a single AWS region. Use Amazon CloudFront to serve all static and dynamic content by specifying the ALB as an origin. Option B. Deploy the application stack in 2 AWS regions. Use an Amazon Route 53 latency routing policy to serve all content from the ALB in the closest region. Option C. Deploy the application stack in a single AWS region. Use Amazon CloudFront to serve the static content. Serve the dynamic content directly from the ALB. Option D. Deploy the application stack in two AWS regions. Use an Amazon Route 53 geolocation routing policy to serve all content from the ALB in the closest region. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company recently started using Amazon Aurora as the data store for its global e-commerce application. When large reports are run, developers report that the e-commerce application is performing poorly. After reviewing metrics in Amazon CloudWatch, a solutions architect finds that the read IOPS and CPU utilization metrics are spiking when monthly reports run. What is the most cost-effective solution? Option A. Migrate the monthly reporting to Amazon Redshift. Option B. Migrate the monthly reporting to an Aurora replica. Option C. Migrate the Aurora database to a larger instance class. Option D. Increase the provisioned IOPS on the Aurora instance. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company produces batch data that comes from different databases. The company also produces live stream data from network sensors and application APIs. The company needs to consolidate all the data into one place for business analytics. The company needs to process the incoming data and then stage the data in different Amazon S3 buckets. Teams will later run one-time queries and import the data into a business intelligence tool to show key performance indicators KPIs. Which combination of steps will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Choose two options. Option A. Use Amazon Athena for one-time queries. Use Amazon QuickSight to create dashboards for KPIs. Option B. Use Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics for one-time queries. Use Amazon QuickSight to create dashboards for the KPIs. Option C. Create custom AWS Lambda functions to move the individual records from the databases to an Amazon Redshift cluster. Option D. Use an AWS Glue extract, transform and load ETL job to convert the data into JSON format. Load the data into multiple Amazon Open Search Service, Amazon Elasticsearch Service clusters. Option E. Use blueprints in AWS Lake Formation to identify the data that can be ingested into a data lake. Use AWS Glue to crawl and source extract the data and load the data into Amazon S3 in Apache Parquet format. Correct answer is option A and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company's order system sends requests from clients to Amazon EC2 instances. The EC2 instances process the orders and then store the orders in a database on Amazon RDS. Users report that they must reprocess orders when the system fails. The company wants a resilient solution that can process orders automatically if a system outage occurs. What should a solutions architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Move the EC2 instances into an auto-scaling group. Create an Amazon event bridge, that is Amazon CloudWatch events rule to target an Amazon Elastic Container Service Amazon ECS task. Option B, move the EC2 instances into an auto-scaling group behind an application load balancer ALB. Update the order system to send messages to the ALB endpoint. Option C, move the EC2 instances into an auto-scaling group. Configure the order system to send messages to an Amazon Simple Queue service, Amazon SQS queue. Configure the EC2 instances to consume messages from the queue. Option D, create an Amazon Simple Notification Service, that is Amazon SNS topic. Create an AWS Lambda function and subscribe the function to the SNS topic. Configure the order system to send messages to the SNS topic. Send command to the EC2 instances to process the messages by using AWS Systems Manager Run command. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company has hired an external vendor to perform work in the company's AWS account. The vendor uses an automated tool that is hosted in an AWS account that the vendor owns. The vendor does not have IAM access to the company's AWS account. How should a solutions architect grant this access to the vendor? Option A, create an IAM role in the company's account to delegate access to the vendor's IAM role. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the role for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option B, create an IAM user in the company's account with a password that meets the password complexity requirements. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the user for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option C, create an IAM group in the company's account. Add the tool's IAM user from the vendor account to the group. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the group for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option D, create a new identity provider by choosing AWS account as the provider type in the IAM console. Supply the vendor's AWS account ID and username. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the new provider for the permissions that the vendor requires. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company recently migrated its web application to AWS by rehosting the application on Amazon EC2 instances in a single AWS region. The company wants to redesign its application architecture to be highly available and fault tolerant. Traffic must reach all running EC2 instances randomly. Which combination of steps should the company take to meet these requirements? Choose two options. Option A, create an Amazon Route 53 failover routing policy. Option B, create an Amazon Route 53 weighted routing policy. Option C, create an Amazon Route 53 multi-value answer routing policy. Option D, launch 3 EC2 instances, 2 instances in one availability zone and 1 instance in another availability zone. Option E, launch 4 EC2 instances, 2 instances in one availability zone and 2 instances in another availability zone. Correct answer is option C and option E. Question is, a company needs to retain its AWS CloudTrail logs for 3 years. The company is enforcing CloudTrail across a set of AWS accounts by using AWS organizations from the parent account. The CloudTrail target S3 bucket is configured with S3 versioning enabled. An S3 lifecycle policy is in place to delete current objects after 3 years. After the 4th year of use of the S3 bucket, the S3 bucket matrix shows that the number of objects has continued to rise. However, the number of new CloudTrail logs that are delivered to the S3 bucket has remained consistent. Which solution will delete objects that are older than 3 years in the most cost-effective manner? Option A, configure the organization's centralized CloudTrail trail to expire objects after 3 years. Option B, configure the S3 lifecycle policy to delete previous versions as well as current versions. Option C, create an AWS Lambda function to enumerate and delete objects from Amazon S3 that are older than 3 years. Option D, configure the parent account as the owner of all objects that are delivered to the S3 bucket. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, an application runs on an Amazon EC2 instance that has an elastic IP address in VPC-A. The application requires access to a database in VPC-B. Both VPCs are in the same AWS account. Which solution will provide the required access most securely? Option A, create a DB instance security group that allows all traffic from the public IP address of the application server in VPC-A. Option B, configure a VPC peering connection between VPC-A and VPC-B. Option C, make the DB instance publicly accessible. Assign a public IP address to the DB instance. Option D, launch an EC2 instance with an elastic IP address into VPC-B. Proxy all requests through the new EC2 instance. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company is building a new web-based customer relationship management application. The application will use several Amazon EC2 instances that are backed by Amazon Elastic Block Store, Amazon EBS volumes behind an application load balancer ALB. The application will also use an Amazon Aurora database. All data for the application must be encrypted at rest and in transit. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A, use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS certificates on the ALB to encrypt data in transit. Use AWS Certificate Manager ACM to encrypt the EBS volumes and Aurora database storage at rest. Option B, use an AWS root account to log into the AWS Management Console. Upload the company's encryption certificates. While in the root account, select the option to turn on encryption for all data at rest and in transit for the account. Option C, use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS to encrypt the EBS volumes and Aurora database storage at rest. Attach an AWS Certificate Manager ACM certificate to the ALB to encrypt data in transit. Option D. Use BitLocker to encrypt all data at rest. Import the company's TLS certificate keys to AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS. Attach the KMS keys to the ALB to encrypt data in transit. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is an application running on an Amazon EC2 instance in VPC A needs to access files in another EC2 instance VPC B. Both VPCs are in separate AWS accounts. The network administrator needs to design a solution to configure secure access to EC2 instance in a VPC B from VPC A. The connectivity should not have a single point of failure or bandwidth concerns. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Set up a VPC peering connection between VPC A and VPC B. Option B. Set up VPC gateway endpoints for the EC2 instance running in VPC B. Option C. Attach a virtual private gateway to VPC B and set up routing from VPC A. Option D. Create a private virtual interface VIF for the EC2 instance running in VPC B and add appropriate routes from VPC A. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company previously migrated its data warehouse solution to AWS. The company also has an AWS Direct Connect connection. Corporate office users query the data warehouse using a visualization tool. The average size of a query returned by the data warehouse is 50 MB and each web page sent by the visualization tool is approximately 500 KB. Result sets returned by the data warehouse are not cached. Which solution provides the lowest data transfer egress cost for the company? Option A. Host the visualization tool on premises and query the data warehouse directly over the internet. Option B. Host the visualization tool in the same AWS region as the data warehouse. Access it over the internet. Option C. Host the visualization tool on premises and query the data warehouse directly over a direct connect connection and a location in the same AWS region. Option D. Host the visualization tool in the same AWS region as the data warehouse and access it over a direct connect connection at a location in the same region. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a medical research lab produces data that is related to a new study. The lab wants to make the data available with minimum latency to clinics across the country for their on-premises file-based applications. The data files are stored in an Amazon S3 bucket that has read-only permissions for each clinic. What should a solutions architect recommend to meet these requirements? Option A. Deploy an AWS Storage Gateway file gateway as a virtual machine VM on premises at each clinic. Option B, migrate the files to each clinic's on-premises applications by using AWS Data Sync for processing. Option C, deploy an AWS Storage Gateway Volume Gateway as a virtual machine VM on-premises at each clinic. Option D, attach an Amazon Elastic File System, Amazon EFS file system to each clinic's on-premises servers. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company runs a web application on Amazon EC2 instances in multiple availability zones. The EC2 instances are in a private subnets. A solution architect implements an internet-facing application load balancer ALB and specifies the EC2 instances as the target group. However, the internet traffic is not reaching the EC2 instances. How should the solution architect reconfigure the architecture to resolve this issue? Option A, replace the ALB with a network load balancer. Configure a NAT gateway in a public subnet to allow internet traffic. Option B, move the EC2 instances to public subnets. Add a rule to the EC2 instances security groups to allow outbound traffic to this. Option C, update the route tables for the EC2 instances subnets to send this traffic through the internet gateway route. Add a rule to the EC2 instances security groups to allow outbound traffic to this. Option D, create public subnets in each availability zone. Associate the public subnets with the ALB. Update the route tables for the public subnets with a route to the private subnets. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company's security team requests that network traffic be captured in VPC flow logs. The logs will be frequently accessed for 90 days and then accessed intermittently. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements when configuring the logs? Option A, use Amazon CloudWatch as the target. Set the CloudWatch log group with an expiration of 90 days. Option B, use Amazon Kinesis as the target. Configure the Kinesis stream to always retain the logs for 90 days. Option C, use AWS CloudTrail as the target. Configure CloudTrail to save to an Amazon S3 bucket and enable S3 intelligent tiering. Option D, use Amazon S3 as the target. Enable an S3 lifecycle policy to transition the logs to S3 standard infrequent access, that is S3 standard IA, after 90 days. Correct answer is option D. Question is, a company is reviewing a recent migration of a three-tier application to a VPC. The security team discovers that the principle of least privilege is not being applied to an Amazon EC2 security group ingress and egress rules between the application tiers. What should a solution architect do to correct this issue? Option A, create security group rules using the instance ID as the source or destination. Option B, create security group rules using the security group ID as the source or destination. Option C creates security group rules using the VPC CIDR blocks as the source or destination. Option D creates security group rules using the subnet CIDR blocks as the source or destination. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is building a solution that will report Amazon EC2 auto-scaling events across all the applications in an AWS account. The company needs to use a serverless solution to store the EC2 auto-scaling status data in Amazon S3. The company then will use the data in Amazon S3 to provide near real-time updates in a dashboard. The solution must not affect the speed of EC2 instance launches. How should the company move the data to Amazon S3 to meet these requirements? Option A. Use an Amazon CloudWatch metric stream to send the EC2 auto-scaling status data to Amazon Kinesis data firehose. Store the data in Amazon S3. Option B. Launch an Amazon EMR cluster to collect the EC2 auto-scaling status data and send the data to Amazon Kinesis data firehose. Store the data in Amazon S3. Option C. Create an Amazon Event Bridge rule to invoke an AWS Lambda function on a schedule. Configure the Lambda function to send the EC2 auto-scaling status data directly to Amazon S3. Option D. Use a bootstrap script during the launch of an EC2 instance to install Amazon Kinesis agent. Configure Kinesis agent to collect the EC2 auto-scaling status data and send the data to Amazon Kinesis data firehose. Store the data in Amazon S3. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a solutions architect needs to design a highly available application consisting of web application and database tiers. HTTPS content delivery should be as close to the edge as possible, with the least delivery time. Which solution meets these requirements and is most secure? Option A. Configure a public application load balancer ALB with multiple redundant Amazon EC2 instances in public subnets. Configure Amazon CloudFront to deliver HTTPS content using the public ALB as the origin. Option B. Configure a public application load balancer with multiple redundant Amazon EC2 instances in private subnets. Configure Amazon CloudFront to deliver HTTPS content using the EC2 instances as the origin. Option C. Configure a public application load balancer ALB with multiple redundant Amazon EC2 instances in private subnets. Configure Amazon CloudFront to deliver HTTPS content using the public ALB as the origin. Option D. Configure a public application load balancer with multiple redundant Amazon EC2 instances in public subnets. Configure Amazon CloudFront to deliver HTTPS content using the EC2 instances as the origin. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a gaming company has a web application that displays scores. The application runs on Amazon EC2 instances behind an application load balancer. The application stores data in Amazon RDS for MySQL database. Users are starting to experience long delays and interruptions that are caused by database read performance. The company wants to improve the user experience while minimizing changes to the application's architecture. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements? Option A, use Amazon Elastic Cache in front of the database. Option B, use RDS proxy between the application and the database. Option C, migrate the application from the EC2 instances to AWS Lambda. Option D, migrate the database from Amazon RDS for MySQL to Amazon DynamoDB. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company serves a dynamic website from a fleet of Amazon EC2 instances behind an application load balancer ALB. The website needs to support multiple languages to serve customers around the world. The website's architecture is running in the US West 1 region and is exhibiting high request latency for users that are located in other parts of the world. The website needs to serve requests quickly and efficiently regardless of a user's location. However, the company does not want to recreate the existing architecture across multiple regions. What should a solutions architect do to meet these requirements? Option A, replace the existing architecture with a website that is served from an Amazon S3 bucket. Configure an Amazon CloudFront distribution with the S3 bucket as the origin. Set the cache behavior settings to cache based on the accept language request header. Option B, configure an Amazon CloudFront distribution with the ALB as the origin. Set the cache behavior settings to cache based on the accept language request header. Option C, create an Amazon API Gateway API that is integrated with the ALB. Configure the API to use the HTTP integration type. Set up an API gateway stage to enable the API cache based on the accept language request header. Option D, launch an EC2 instance in each additional region and configure nginx to act as a cache server for that region. Put all the EC2 instances and the ALB behind an Amazon Route 53 record set with the geolocation routing policy. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a research company runs experiments that are powered by a simulation application and a visualization application. The simulation application runs on Linux and outputs intermediate data to an NFS share every 5 minutes. The visualization application is a Windows desktop application that displays the simulation output and requires an SMB file system. The company maintains two synchronized file systems. This strategy is causing data duplication and inefficient resource uses. The company needs to migrate the application to AWS without making code changes to either application. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Migrate both applications to AWS Lambda. Create an Amazon S3 bucket to exchange data between the applications. Option B. Migrate both applications to Amazon Elastic Container Service Amazon ECS. Configure Amazon FSx file gateway for storage. Option C. Migrate the simulation application to Linux Amazon EC2 instances. Migrate the visualization application to Windows EC2 instances. Configure Amazon Simple Queue Service Amazon SQS to exchange data between the applications. Option D. Migrate the simulation applications to Linux Amazon EC2 instances. Migrate the visualization application to Windows EC2 instances. Configure Amazon FSx for NetApp on tap for storage. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is migrating a Linux-based web server group to AWS. The web servers must access files in a shared file store for some content. The company must not make any changes to the application. What should a solutions architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Create an Amazon S3 standard bucket with access to the web servers. Option B. Configure an Amazon CloudFront distribution with an Amazon S3 bucket as the origin. Option C. Create an Amazon Elastic File System Amazon EFS file system. Mount the EFS file system on all web servers. Option D. Configure a general purpose SSD that is GP3 Amazon Elastic Block Store Amazon EBS volume. Mount the EBS volume to all web servers. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company hosts a web application on multiple Amazon EC2 instances. The EC2 instances are in an auto-scaling group that scales in response to user demand. The company wants to optimize cost savings without making a long-term commitment. Which EC2 instance purchasing option should a solution architect recommend to meet these requirements? Option A. Dedicated instances only. Option B. On-demand instances only. Option C. A mix of on-demand instances and spot instances. Option D. A mix of on-demand instances and reserved instances. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company recently created a disaster recovery site in a different AWS region. The company needs to transfer large amounts of data back and forth between NFS file systems in the two regions on a periodic basis. Which solution will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Option A, use AWS Data Sync. Option B, use AWS Snowball devices. Option C, set up an SFTP server on Amazon EC2. Option D, use AWS Database Migration Service AWS DMS. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company that primarily runs its application servers on premises has decided to migrate to AWS. The company wants to minimize its need to scale its Internet Small Computer System Interface ISCSI storage on premises. The company wants only its recently accessed data to remain stored locally. Which AWS solutions should the company use to meet these requirements? Option A, Amazon S3 File Gateway. Option B, AWS Storage Gateway Tape Gateway. Option C, AWS Storage Gateway Volume Gateway Stored Volumes. Option D, AWS Storage Gateway Volume Gateway Cached Volumes. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a solutions architect needs to optimize storage costs. The solution architect must identify an Amazon S3 buckets that are no longer being accessed or are rarely accessed. Which solution will accomplish this goal with the least operational overhead? Option A, analyze the bucket access patterns by using the S3 storage lanes dashboard for advanced activity metrics. Option B, analyze bucket access patterns by using the S3 dashboard in the AWS Management Console. Option C, turn on the Amazon CloudWatch bucket size bytes metric for buckets. Analyze bucket access patterns by using the metrics data with Amazon Athena. Option D, turn on AWS CloudTrail for S3 object monitoring. Analyze bucket access patterns by using CloudTrail logs that are integrated with Amazon CloudWatch logs. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a company is building a mobile app on AWS. The company wants to expand its reach to millions of users. The company needs to build a platform so that authorized users can watch the company's content on their mobile devices. What should a solution architect recommend to meet these requirements? Option A, publish content to a public Amazon S3 bucket. Use AWS Key Management Service AWS KMS keys to stream content. Option B, set up IPsec VPN between the mobile app and the AWS environment to stream content. Option C, use Amazon CloudFront, provide signed URLs to stream content. Option D. Set up an AWS client VPN between the mobile app and the AWS environment to stream content. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company uses a legacy application to produce data in a CSV format. The legacy application stores the output data in Amazon S3. The company is deploying a new commercial off-the-shelf COTS application that can perform complex SQL queries to analyze data that is stored in Amazon Redshift and Amazon S3 only. However, the COTS application cannot process the .csv files that the legacy application produces. The company cannot update the legacy application to produce data in another format. The company needs to implement a solution so that the COTS application can use the data that the legacy application produces. Which solution will meet these requirements with the least operational overhead? Option A. Create an AWS glue extract, transform and load ETL job that runs on a schedule. Configure the ETL job to process the .csv files and store the processed data in Amazon Redshift. Option B. Develop a Python script that runs on Amazon EC2 instances to convert the .csv files to .sql files. Invoke the Python script on a cron schedule to store the output files in Amazon S3. Option C. Create an AWS Lambda function and an Amazon DynamoDB table. Use an S3 event to invoke the Lambda function. Configure the Lambda function to perform an extract, transform, and load ETL job to process the .csv files and store the processed data in the DynamoDB table. Option D. Use Amazon Event Bridge to launch an Amazon EMR cluster on a weekly schedule. Configure the EMR cluster to perform an extract, transform, and load ETL job to process the .csv files and store the processed data in an Amazon Redshift table. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a solution architect is designing a multi-tier application for a company. The application's users upload images from a mobile device. The application generates a thumbnail of each image and returns a message to the user to confirm that the image was uploaded successfully. The thumbnail generation can take up to 60 seconds, but the company wants to provide a faster response time to its users to notify them that the original image was received. The solutions architect must design the application to asynchronously dispatch requests to the different application tiers. What should the solution architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Write a custom AWS Lambda function to generate the thumbnail and alert the user. Use the image upload process as an event source to invoke the Lambda function. Option B. Create an AWS step functions workflow Configure step functions to handle the orchestration between the application tiers and alert the user when thumbnail generation is complete. Option C. Create an Amazon Simple Queue service. Amazon SQS message queue. As images are uploaded, place a message on the SQS queue for thumbnail generation. Alert the user through an application message that the image was received. Option D. Create an Amazon Simple Notification Service. Amazon SNS notification topics and subscriptions. Use one subscription with application to generate the thumbnail after the image upload is complete. Use a second subscription to message the user's mobile app by way of a push notification after thumbnail generation is complete. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a company uses a payment processing system that requires messages for a particular payment ID to be received in the same order that they were sent. Otherwise, the payments might be processed incorrectly. Which actions should a solution architect take to meet these requirements? Choose two options. Option A. Write the messages to an Amazon DynamoDB table with the payment ID as the partition key. Option B. Write the messages to an Amazon Kinesis data stream with the payment ID as the partition key. Option C. Write the messages to an Amazon Elastic Cache for Memcached cluster with the payment ID as the key. Option D. Write the messages to an Amazon Simple Queue service, Amazon SQS queue. Set the message attribute to use the payment ID. Option E. Write the messages to an Amazon Simple Queue service, Amazon SQS FIFO queue. Set the message group to use the payment ID. Correct answer is option A and option E. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company runs a public three-tier web application in a VPC. The application runs on Amazon EC2 instances across multiple availability zones. The EC2 instances that run in private subnets need to communicate with a licensed server over the Internet. The company needs a managed solution that minimizes operational maintenance. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A. Provision a NAT instance in a public subnet. Modify each private subnet's route table with a default route that points to the NAT instance. Option B. Provision a NAT instance in a private subnet. Modify each private subnet's route table with a default route that points to the NAT instance. Option C. Provision a NAT gateway in a public subnet. Modify each private subnet's route table with a default route that points to the NAT gateway. Option D. Provision a NAT gateway in a private subnet. Modify each private subnet's route table with a different route with a default route that points to the NAT gateway. Correct answer is option C. Question is, a company is running several business applications in three separate VPCs within the US East 1 region. The applications must be able to communicate between VPCs. The applications must be able to consistently send hundreds of gigabytes of data each day to a latency sensitive application that runs in a single on-premises data center. A solutions architect needs to design a network connectivity solution that maximizes cost effectiveness. Which solution meets these requirements? Option A, configure three AWS site-to-site VPN connections from the data center to AWS. Establish connectivity by configuring one VPN connection for each VPC. Option B, launch a third-party virtual network appliance in each VPC. Establish an IPsec VPN tunnel between the data center and each virtual appliance. Option C, set up three AWS Direct Connect connections from the data center to a Direct Connect gateway in US East. Establish connectivity by configuring each VPC to use one of the Direct Connect connections. Option D, set up one AWS Direct Connect connection from the data center to AWS. Create a transit gateway and attach each VPC to the transit gateway. Establish connectivity between the Direct Connect connection and the transit gateway. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, an e-commerce company is experiencing an increase in user traffic. The company's store is deployed on Amazon EC2 instances as a two-tier web application consisting of a web tier and a separate database tier. As traffic increases, the company notices that architecture is causing insignificant delays in sending timely marketing and order confirmation to email to users. The company wants to reduce the time it spends resolving complex email delivery issues and minimize operational overhead. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements? Option A, create a separate application tier using EC2 instances dedicated to email processing. Option B, configure the web instance to send email through Amazon Simple email service, Amazon SES. Option C, configure the web instance to send email through Amazon Simple Notification Service, Amazon SNS. Option D, create a separate application tier using EC2 instances dedicated to email processing. Place the instances in an auto-scaling group. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a company is storing petabytes of data in Amazon S3 standard. The data is stored in multiple S3 buckets and is accessed with varying frequency. The company does not know access patterns for all the data. The company needs to implement a solution for each S3 bucket to optimize the cost of S3 users. Which solution will meet these requirements with the most operational efficiency? Option A. Create an S3 lifecycle configuration with a rule to transition the objects in the S3 bucket to S3 intelligent tiering. Option B. Use the S3 storage class analysis tool to determine the correct tier for each object in the S3 bucket. Move each object to the identified storage tier. Option C. Create an S3 lifecycle configuration with a rule to transition the objects in the S3 bucket to S3 Glacier instant retrieval. Option D. Create an S3 lifecycle configuration with a rule to transition the objects in the S3 bucket to S3 one zone infrequent access S3 one zone IA. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a company is using Amazon Route 53 latency-based routing to route requests to its UDP-based applications for users around the world. The application is hosted on redundant servers in the company's on-premises data centers in the United States, Asia, and Europe. The company's compliance requirements state that the application must be hosted on premises. The company wants to improve the performance and availability of the application. What should a solution architect do to meet these requirements? Option A. Configure 3 network load balancers (NLBs) in the 3 AWS regions to address the on-premises endpoints. Provide access to the application by using a CNAME that points to the accelerator DNS. Option B. Configure 3 application load balancers (ALBs) in the 3 AWS regions to address the on-premises endpoints. Create an accelerator by using AWS Global Accelerator and register the ALBs as its endpoints. Provide access to the applications by using a CNAME that points to the accelerator DNS. Option C. Configure 3 network load balancers (NLBs) in the 3 AWS regions to address the on-premises endpoints. In Route 53, create a latency-based record that points to the 3 NLBs and use it as an origin for an Amazon CloudFront distribution. Provide access to the application by using a CNAME that points to the CloudFront DNS. Option D. Configure 3 application load balancers (ALBs) in the 3 AWS regions to address the on-premises endpoints. In Route 53, create a latency-based record that points to the 3 ALBs and use it as an origin for an Amazon CloudFront distribution. Provide access to the application by using a CNAME that points to the CloudFront DNS. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.